Hey y'all. Hi Jamie, thank you. Hey Cyber, hey Ruth. How y'all doing? Okay. All right. Hey y'all, happy Tuesday. How y'all doing on this good Tuesday? Hi, us, Sandrine. Hey, welcome. Hey, Miss Janine. Thank you, boo. All right, let's get into this read. Let me make sure my thing is up all the way. Hold on, TikTok. Okay, perfect. All right, let's get into this read. Okay, girl. Welcome back to my channel. This is Adana, also known as the Afrozine, and today I'm reading for the Beautiful Handsome Collective. Hello, Collective. How you doing? Flowers, flowers, flowers. Flowers, flowers, flowers. One more time. Flowers, flowers, flowers. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell. To book a private reading with me at the shop in my store, all that information is in the description box below. All right, so this is going to be more so from a psychological standpoint today. So that way, you know, you're able to receive this information and then you'll be able to move forward even further from all of this hoopla and foolishness here, okay? But before I get into the read today, don't forget to grab your copy here of this book. It's called Wisdom Beyond Wounds. It was created for me and by me, of course, yeah, and also for the collective here as well too. I do writing here. I do the exercises in here as well too. But this book was created to help the collective move forward in a very healthy and positive way here, okay? So this book is readily available for purchase on Amazon.com, and it's called Wisdom Beyond Wounds, all right? It's a shadow book that dives deeper surrounding narcissistic traits and aspects of that, okay? Thank you, Miss Monique. All right, so what else? You want to get into the Wisdom Beyond Wounds group that's on Facebook. The podcast is still open. I may close it probably by the end of this week because I have a lot of entries and I've been going down the list. And so if you have not received like an email or anything, please don't take that the wrong way, because some of the things that has been submitted, it is not a fit. It's not a good fit. Okay. And then yet again, please don't take that as the wrong way, okay? This is why that's why I created a form to ensure that it's aligned into your healing and, the collective's healing here. And I'm not gonna go too deep into that, but yeah. So with that being said, let's get into this read. So channel message here is they invested a lot into destroying their life, okay? I'm gonna break it down. So when it comes to a narcissistic individual or group of people here, take it how it resonates. At the core for them, meaning who they are, who their true identity is, the DNA of what makes them them, right? They often confuse power with control. So instead of them investing in their health, their growth, their success, things of that nature here, they decided to more so pour their energy into manipulation, or more so into lies, or more so their appearances here. Okay, this is their way of keeping things in control with the power that they never had. Okay, so that consistent need to dominate others here comes from unresolved wounds and fragile self-worth. Okay. But the irony of all of this in regards to this so-called investment, because they took time, energy, and effort to invest in them destroying themselves here, they thought, well, it made them look. They wanted the appearance for them to come off as stronger in regards to what they're not here, or they thought they would become very untouchable. So this is why they use certain types of tactics here or methods here surrounding like gaslighting or trying to craft their image to be a certain way, or they love to tear other people down to make themselves feel more in control and powerful. But to be honest here, what all it's doing while they're using those those methods and tactics here is that they're draining their own resources of peace, time, effort, energy, and also stability here. Thank you, Yanita. Thank you, boo. So because of that, they operate from a deep insecurity, and their true power, or more so, true power requires self-awareness. That's where your true power lies for the divine collective here. They don't have that. They are aware that you are self-aware in regards to your surroundings, in regards to who you are, the connections that you may make, etc., here. And that is something that they want to embody within themselves. Okay, so as I mentioned before, is very important, or more so imperative, to ensure that you're really taking the time to dive deep within self, because the more you do that, the more you become more aware of self, if that makes sense. So in a nutshell, or just generally speaking, true power requires self-awareness or vulnerability, and also the ability to stand strong without hurting or without crushing others or putting others down in that kind of way. So it becomes very threatening to them or their facade here, because it exposes their cracks in regards to their illusions here. So instead, they equate control, quote unquote, they equate control with power. That's their way of seeing control with power here. And if they're able to manipulate outcomes, silence, or bend people to their will, this is the only reason why they feel powerful. And as I mentioned before, if you take that away from them, or you disconnect that away from them, they won't have that. They won't feel that power that they thought that they had. So all in all here, when it comes to their form of control, is very fragile. And the reason why it's fragile is because they always constantly have to keep rewrapping. It's like a bandage. Okay, it's like a scar or a wound, right? And let's say you have like an open wound, and you have to take the precautionary steps to ensure that you are bandaging that actual open wound all the time. You got to change the wound, you got to change the bandage out, you got to clean it, because if you don't, then eventually it's going to turn into some kind of like an infection or things of that nature here. So that's their control is very infectious to themselves. It's very fragile to themselves. So it has to be constantly maintained through lies, intimidation, crafting of this perfect image that they want people to see them as, or coercion. They want to coerce people into believing the lies as truth. So with that being said, over time, for more so for you guys here, your real power stands on, or so your real power, on the other hand, is more stabilized, or there's a sturdy, strong foundation here. And when you are consistently in your space in regards to the control of self here, well, no one will be able to break you. So if you have a very sturdy foundation of self, if you are very aware as to who you are, or learning in regards to who you are here, and when someone comes along that doesn't follow the same tune or follow the same beat that you do here, it's not going to rock you. Okay, it's like a boat, right? And you're getting ready to go on a trek, or you're getting ready to go on the waters here, and you were giving a lot of warnings or pre-warnings to ensure that this boat is going to be very sturdy once you start to go against those rough waters here. So what do? You take the time to create a very good sturdy foundation of this boat here that can go against the clashes or the waters, the harsh waters of the ocean. That's just an example, or figuratively speaking here, okay? So basically, like, the foundation of self is basically what I'm trying to say here. Also, when you are in control of self, you don't need an audience, as I mentioned before here. People that lie consistently and habitually here, okay, people that lie consistently or habitually here, they need some form of they have to keep doing it over and over and over to keep it at the top. So yet again, with that open wound here, if someone has an open wound and they realize they have an open wound, but they're not taking the time to heal the open wound here, it may get a little worse before it gets better, if that makes sense here. So with that being said, so because the narcissistic person can't grasp what they got going on here, they can't grasp the sense of what they're doing here. It is more so externally fueled. So their power or control is outside of self. It's not within self. So as I mentioned to you guys before, it's very important to thank y'all. Thank you. Yes, just get rid of the trash. Yeah, I'm not dealing with no trash, nothing like that. But yeah, I appreciate my moderators on YouTube. Mwah, thank y'all. Love y'all. So yeah, let me keep moving forward because I don't have time for them derelicts. Anywho, with that being said here, Without their control, they feel powerless. So it's the control of self that they don't have control over. And because they're seeing you, that you're able to be able to control yourself, the more power you have. So the more control you have, the more power you have, the more power you can exert, or the more power that you can use for self in your day-to-day here. And they don't have what you have here. So this is why they have taken all of their time, effort, and energy and money here to ensure that they more so try to destroy your lives, but at the end of it all, they ended up just destroying their lives. So we're going to get into the read here. I'm going to use these cards here today to kind of break it down even further here, but they're like really struggling with their mind here because they can't get out of this self-imposed prison or self-imposed prison that they place themselves here. They're trying to reinvest in themselves by now trying to have control over their feelings, have controlling of the things that they were saying, trying to have control of the false facade or the ill facade in regards to what they don't want people to see as. Okay, hold on. All right, talk to me, Spirit. Okay, so we have two women on here, okay? It could be a mom and daughter. It could be two friends, sisters, co-workers. Shoot, it could be lovers. However resonates. Thank you. Kisses Aesthetics. Thank you, boo. It looks like that one person leans on another person, okay? One person, or this person that's in the white shirt, is more so leaning on the person that's on this blue shirt here. And it seems like the woman in the blue shirt here seems like she's just ready to kind of like give up or just forget everything. There's also a flower in her hand, but the flower is kind of like loosely held in her hand here. So that kind of tells me that it could be more so fragile as well too. The fragility of her is being shown in front of everyone to see. She may feel embarrassed. So it's a woman here that may feel embarrassed, that may feel that they're not able to get out of the situation. They may feel like that they're not able to turn back the hands of time. They're in a really hard space right now. Because they thought that if they invested all their time, effort, and energy and money into you, that it would have destroyed you. But it did not destroy you. It actually made you grow, to be honest. Yet again, when someone is pouring all of their time, effort, and energy into you, use that to your advantage. People give away their energy freely every day, all day, and they don't even realize that they be doing that. And that's where you come in here when you're seeing people trying to push negative ideologies onto you here. That's where transmutation comes in. So despite them throwing these harmful and harsh things towards you here, well, you can transmute that into something great, and this is how you become successful. So I'll give you an example. Someone is speaking ill. Oh, you ain't, you'll never be. But you know, those things ain't true. Well, now you're proving to yourself that those things aren't true, and now you're coming out of the darkness, or more so out of isolation here, and now people are seeing you differently from what that person or group of people has said about you here. And everybody's mouth is open, their eyes are like, wow, you know what I mean? Because it's not true. They thought that they created wounds, or very deep traumatic wounds within you that you would not be able to heal from. Yes, that may have happened, but you are able to heal that because that's not your portion, or that's not your final destination. Despite the traumatic experiences that you may have went through, that's not your final destination. That's more so theirs. Again, people can only treat you based on the level of experience that they have experienced. And all they've experienced thus far is nothing but negativity, harshness, control, abrasiveness, oppression, things of that nature here, okay? So, see all their dirty laundry is hanging out the washing machine. All of their dirty laundry It's hanging out the washer machine. I could look at this in different ways here. So with that being said, this lady looks like maybe the washing machine is broken. They're not able to wash their clothes. They're not able to wash the dirt that they have created on their clothes here. And if the washing machine is broken here, other people can see it. So something is wrong to where they're not able to wash away the things that they have done towards you here. So now that their dirty clothes is being shown for everyone to see, it's in the public, if that makes sense. They could be at a public, from this instance here, this woman could be at a public, like a laundromat here. And normally when you wash clothes with other people, you know, throughout a community here, everyone else can kind of see what type of clothes you have. You know what I mean? Not saying that they're very nosy, but just kind of use that from a depiction purposes here, that when you're utilizing a community setting surrounding like a laundromat here, other people can kind of see what type of clothes you have, if it's dirty, if it's clean, if it's whatever the case may be. So yes, I feel, figuratively speaking, metaphorically speaking here, that this person here, all of their dirty laundry is here and they don't know how to clean it, or they don't know how to fix it here. So this is why they're feeling like, oh my God, what am I going to do? I got loads and loads of dirty clothes or dirty laundry, and their dirty laundry consists of like gossip in that kind of way, right? And they're trying to figure out how they can clean it, but they can't clean it because the machine is broken. And they broke the machine because of the type of things that they were putting inside the machine. Again, that's figuratively speaking here. They put a lot of foolish things inside that laundry here, and this is why they feel stuck, okay? This is why they feel stuck here. They were chained to a ball, or this ball was chained to their ankle here. If you look closely, if you see the ball and the chain, and they thought that you would have been where they were. This is why they tried to cover the moon, or try to cover their actions, or try to use deception so that people could not see in regards to what they were trying to do towards you here. And it failed, despite them thinking that they can cloak themselves or utilizing or working with the moon energy here to hide what they have done towards you here, and it's not working. Even so, you know, you have your full moon and half moon and etc here. Let's say you were at the beach, right? And let's say you're at the beach at like a nighttime, and you notice how the tides come in at different times of day or different times at night here. And I feel like right now everything is at a high tide. You know, normally when you have a high tide, you can see, you're not able to see everything, but once the tide goes down, like really, really down, like more so shallow, you'll see things maybe you weren't able to see before. So now that things are more so in a shallow aspect of things, where people can see more visibly in this way here, they're not liking what people are seeing. So people are singing a song, or they're singing a song, or they're trying to sing a song to kind of revert things back to what they thought they could, or more so, they're trying to get people to tune in to a different frequency of the song that they're trying to sing here. And that song that they're trying to sing here is like, please forgive me. I didn't mean it. Give me one more chance. What the collective is saying is not true. You know, things of that nature here. Anything that they can do to get out of this self-imposed prison that they place themselves here, and it's not working, which is the reason why they feel so crushed within themselves. You see the child part of them, even though they're an adult, the childish part of them exudes more than the actual adult part of self here. And you're able to see that. So they were still childish, even though they're an adult. They're still very childish in nature here, which is why you're seeing the outline or the chalk of an actual adult's body. But the real true identity of who they are is truly childish in nature. The core of who they are is truly childish in nature here, okay? Maybe they felt safe with being very horrendous towards other people. They felt safe where thinking that no one would see that inner parts or the deeper parts of who they are, but it's outlined in chalk. And anyone that knows, when you have chalk and you write it on the street or on a sidewalk here, eventually that's going to be washed away by either rain, someone coming to, you know, clear it up or to clean it up and things of that nature here. And they thought that I'll put it in this way, their chalk, they thought their chalk body or the outline of their body here, they thought it was invincible from others to see. See, now they screaming. Ah! How did I get here? I can't get out of this. Oh my God, all my laundry's in the street. Everybody seeing what I did. Oh my God, nobody likes me. Nobody respects me. Of course, nobody likes them and nobody respects them. Look what the they doing. Look what they're doing. All of the darker aspects of self is coming out of their pores, or coming out of their energy, or coming out of their hair. You can hide a lot of things in your hair. I ain't gonna go too deep with that, okay? You're gonna have to take that how that resonates. But you can hide things in your hair, and they thought, and this figuratively speaking, they thought that they could hide their motives, or they could hide their plans, or tactics from you to do it towards you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, Quiet Storm. I appreciate that. And the more they try to hide, the more their skeleton is exposed. It's like they're trying to use their hand to kind of close the closet. But no, this closet wasn't meant to be closed because it was too much. You ever had a closet that was like overpoured with like clothes or like shoes and stuff, and you're trying to push against it to ensure that the door would stay stuck or stay closed in that kind of way? Well, the moment that you open up the door, everything comes tumbling down, if that makes sense, and all of their skeletons or all of their bones are falling through. So anywho, so we got the ghost here. It's like the ghost of the past, all right? The troubles of their past is coming to haunt them. The secrets of their past is now coming to haunt them. This so-called fragile ego that they keep operating out of as well too is being shown for everyone to see. So yeah, they can't handle the ghosts of their past. They can't handle the apparitions that they're seeing as well too, and this is why they feel so stuck mentally. There's a man that is trying to get his thoughts on paper, but he's not able to connect to his thoughts. If you look closely, you see he's trying to get his thoughts out of this pen, but he's encapsulated in this pen, so he could be having a writer's block or more so communication block. But if you're able to look closely here, what he's trying to write is like scribble scrabble. So it doesn't make sense to this person in regards to what they're going through. They don't understand why they're going through what they're going through, but they know that they're going through something. So they're having a crisis more so mentally, and also Mercury as well, which is communication. They don't know how to communicate, or they don't know how to express themselves here. So they feel stuck within their mind. So it's like when you pick up a pen, especially for ones that are writers here, we tend to get writer's block, right? And when you pick up the pen, in some cases here, let's say you do have your writer's block and you're not able to kind of figure out what you want to write down, whatever. And the moment that you step away and then you come back after you have taken some time off here, you pick up that pen, and that pen automatically connects to you, right? To your mind here. And then you just start to write, or you allow yourself to kind of free flow or write in a kind of way. And then once you finish writing, you're able to kind of see the bigger picture in that kind of way here. They're not able to do that, which is why there is a disconnect between their thoughts and their communicative skills. Thank you. Okay, does that make sense? The things that they want to say, they know they can't say, because if they say it, it will incriminate them even more. You know, hey, Mr. Rent, they can't say it. So it's like, oh, but what do I do? They can say something to hold themselves accountable, or they cannot say anything and just kind of like wallow in their self-pity here, and they choose the latter. They choose to wallow in their self-pity. Self-pity. Somebody love olives. Or maybe you like a martini, okay? Yes, and they just wasted their life. They really did. They just wasted it. Days, months, weeks, and even years went by because all they had was time for you. Time to make sure that you don't move forward. time to ensure that you don't become successful, time to ensure that you don't receive or connect with individuals that is for your best or for your highest good here. They did everything possible to kind of like run down your clock or run down your time here, and at the end of it all, they the one that ran themselves into a abyss of shit. So going back to my notes here, they invested a lot. They invested a lot into destroying their life, okay? Instead of investing in their healing or growth, they made sure that they poured their energy into manipulation, into lies and appearances. And because of that here, they needed to feel the constant need to dominate others, but their domination comes from unresolved wounds. So that's where they were operating from. Well, if you hurt me, I'm going to hurt you. Or I'll put it in this way. You've never hurt this person in any way, shape, or form. Okay. You may have said something to them, but in that type of way or point of view from them, they feel like that was a form of hurt. Your truth was a form of trigger for them. So with that being said here, they adopted a mentality or a point of view or a perspective here that they have to get you before you're able to get them. And you weren't never out to get this person because you didn't care about this person to get them in that way. You weren't trying to cause any type of intentional harm towards them, but that's not how they see things, and that's not how they perceive things. So because of the unresolved wounds that they have created, or more so they have developed, from childhood, from whatever experience that they went through, this is why they thought they can go so gun-ho or so, rageful over your life here, and it failed. So that is the irony of the actual investment. Again, they took their investment into utilizing it with manipulation, lies, or appearances. That was their investment, to use that onto other people. They didn't have any energy and they didn't have any power because they invested the time and energy that they did have, again, into manipulation, lies, and appearances here. So they wasted their time. They wasted their energy. They wasted their resources. They wasted their money, etc., etc., etc. here, okay? Now, the reason why they decide to utilize that so-called investments in that way here is because they wanted it to, thank you, I appreciate that. They wanted the investment that they were investing in. They wanted it to make them look much stronger or much more knowledgeable or more so or become more untouchable from individuals like yourself here, okay? That's why they use gaslighting, or they try to persuade people that they are a certain way, or they love to tear other people down. Some of them love to connect with the people that you were connected to at one point in time because they felt solace or they felt very great or good in tearing you down with other people that knew you. That makes sense? So to be honest, they ended up draining their own resources of peace, trust, and stability, which they never had. Maybe they did have it. Maybe it was in reserve. And what they operated from was the unresolved wounds and issues. So that was their pillar for energy, or that was the originator of their energy was from hurt. So they operated from hurt. And since they realized that you won't operate from hurt, they wanted to put you in a position where you will be able to operate from hurt like how they operated from hurt. Does that make sense? Thank you. I love you. Hey, boo. Exquisite. Hey, boo. Okay. So this is why they're drowning in their sorrows, literally and figuratively here. Okay. The room looks dark. It looks dirty. There's no light to anything. They're not glowing. They don't feel confidence. They're like wallowing in like their self-pity here. They're drowning in their sorrows. This could be a tub of tears. We could even put it in this way as well, too. This looks like a tub of tears. I mean, that tub don't even look like it's been cleaned for a while. It looks grimy. It looks moldy. It doesn't look aesthetically clean at all. Someone's name is Tyrone or Tyretha, Tyron. Someone's name is TT. They do. Unique to Goddess said they need a Dettol bath. Let me explain, because not everybody might not understand. So a Dettol it comes in the bottles like a medicinal type of thing that we use from the West Indies here, and it's like it's a sleek bottle, and it has like brown liquid inside of it, and you use it for like antiseptic treatments and to clean yourself and things of that nature here. Again, I think that's more of a West Indian thing. I don't know if other, you know, nationalities or backgrounds may be aware of that, but I know strongly that us when West Indians, we used to use it a lot when we were growing up here. And when she said that's all, yeah, they need a nice douse of it with a Capo Clorox, just to kind of clean away those nasty spirits. Okay, they use it for bathing in Nigeria for us from America. Okay. So yeah, okay. I wasn't sure, but thank you for clarifying. And they said that using Dettol has a really strong spiritual like benefits to it from that aspect here. But yeah, they refuse to use it because, put it like this, someone that know that they're doing something very, very evil spirited or very negative in nature here, and you're trying to come towards it with some form of like a cleansing something, they're going to run away from you. You got to remember, these spirits that they have attached to them are not clean. So because it's not clean, or the spirits that's attached to them is not clean, they're doing a lot of unclean things. So the moment that you try to offer some form of assistance surrounding them to clean themselves or to clean their spirit here, they will literally fight you down. Remember, those type of spirits are connected to them are very smelly. They don't smell good at all. And it's all of the type of things that they're doing. It could be paraphernalia. It could be sexual activities. If they're sleeping from person to person to person to person, that person will start to smell over time. Yes, it would. When someone keep having multiple partners, or they're entertaining multiple partners and they're not taking care of themselves, that sex smell smells so rank. It smells so stink, so freaking stink. Yuck. It smells so stinking, so foul. Their home could smell stinking foul. Their body could smell stinking foul. If that makes sense. Thank you. Frowsy. Yes. Yes. My stomach hurt. Unique. Yes, they smell frothy and frowsy, okay? It's a real thing, I'm telling you. So we have the clock here. So yet again, surrounding this card here, there's no hands on the clock. So they can't keep time of the clock, or they can't keep track of the clock here, okay? They have many different clocks that they thought that they would have time or control over, and they don't. Every clock that's on here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 34. There's about 15 different clocks here, okay? Many different sizes, okay? And everything is completely dark, or they're encapsulated in darkness here, and they're trying to figure out how to regain that time, or how to retrace that time, or how to regress that time so they can get more time. It's a full-time job or a full-time career in regards to how these narcissistic individuals thought that they could play this so-called game here, and they failed their own game. They ran out of time. I was playing Mario yesterday. Which one? I think it was Super Mario Brothers 2 on Nintendo. And if you guys remember, those type of games were actually timed versus the newer version of the Mario, what do you call it? Group setting. Before, when we were younger, we had to make sure and we play very strategically when it came to playing with Mario, because it was very timed. And sometimes when you get below that time, it'll make that and then the music would get really fast or get faster here because you had to make sure you get to the end of the actual level here. Well, yeah, that's where they at right now. They're at that and they're trying to really hurry up and fast. They trying to get to the finish line here, but as much as they're trying to get to the finish line, it's like the finish line keeps getting worse and worse and worse, or it keeps being pushed back. Every time that they feel like that they're close to the finish line, they keep getting, or more so, we'll say the finish line, the post of the finish line, the goal post has been pushed back. I mean, hey, don't it sound familiar? I mean, hey. Yes, so they're operating out of an unhealthy wound here, and the wound just keeps getting bigger and bigger. Now everyone sees it. See? Everyone sees the hole that they refuse to fill or they refuse to heal from. Everyone sees this gaping wound from them, and they don't like it. And they cannot use that as an example, even though I'm explaining this in this kind of way. They still can't use that as an excuse as to why they were so harsh or negative towards you here, because they were intentional with what they're doing. They wanted to see you hurt because they got off on that. They actually laughed at the fact that you were hurting. They laughed that they thought that you would never get out of it here. So you can't feel sorry for individuals in this way. You really can't. But there's a big hole right in their chest, and they're trying to sew it up, or they're trying to cover it up, and they just can't. It's just too much. It's overwhelmingly too much for them to handle here. Which is why they were trying to connect with you. So while they were trying to hurt and harm you here, they still wanted some form of a connection with you here, because they knew that you had the hands to time, if that makes sense. They knew that you were the perfect person that could help them to stop time, stop the destruction of their time in their life, or more so, stop them from getting the karma that they received or they should be receiving here. I don't understand how they can want your help, but at the same time, they're trying to abuse you while they want your help. That doesn't make sense. But yet again, we're not dealing with people that make sense here, so. Someone's name is Autumn, or you may love Autumn, okay? I'm hearing the name Vincenzo, V-I-N-C-I-C-I-O or something like that, I-Z-I-O. Yep, the gavel of life or karma, thank you. The karma of life has hit them on their head. That makes sense. And then they have this picture here. Wow, okay, I'll use it just like that. That's actually really great. You see how this man is crying right here? The puddle of tears, and it's overflowing into a bigger puddle here where everyone can see. Everyone sees this person crying. Everyone sees that this person is upset. Everyone sees that something is off with this person. Everyone sees that this person is very debilitated in that kind of way. They're crying. And as the more they cry, the more of a bigger puddle or flood, or the floodgates of their karma is opening up for them, because in some odd way here, they feel like that if they cry or they play victim here, that they'll be able to get out of the situation, and it's not working in that way at all. But yeah, there's someone that cries at least every day, couple times a day here, quietly behind the scenes. They're very quiet right now. They're in the dark, but they're not in the dark, if that makes sense. And they're wanting to wake up from this nightmare, but they feel like you are the only person that can wake them up from this nightmare here. You see the hands here? There's someone that is laying in the bed here. It could be like a dream as well too, okay? They feel like they're living in a nightmare, not even more so a dream. They feel like they're living in a nightmare, and they're wanting someone to wake them up. Or they're wanting the hands, meaning your hands, your caring hands, your generous hands, your loving hands, if that makes sense, figuratively speaking. They know that your hands are safe. They know that they can feel safe within your arms or within your hands, if that makes sense. And they want you to wake them up from this nightmare here. Negative. Somebody's eating pistachios, or you love pistachios, or you may love nuts in general, like walnuts, chestnuts. You could be making some kind of cake surrounding that, okay? Okay, you know what? I'm going to bite because you keep typing on Instagram. So, Shabhit, sorry if I mispronounce your name. So, this person is asking, what will be end of these people and when will it be over, please? When you end it. If you keep harboring in regards to what a person has done from you from the past, it will never end. That's what they want for you. They want you to harbor, and they want you to constantly keep replaying the past in regards to what they have done to you. That's how most people are stuck in a scenario or in a cycle of chaos and abuse and etc., etc. So the answer to your question is when you end it, when you finally say, stand up for yourself and say, hey, enough is enough. You do whatever it is that you need to do to thrive in your inauthenticity. You show up like the boss that you are in your inauthenticity, and it's not going to affect you. It's only affecting you here because you're not doing what you're supposed to do. And I know that for a fact because of the question that you asked me here. So the correct answer to your question here is when you are sick and tired of being sick and tired. They're still going to do what they need to do, of course, but it's not until you finally step into the position of who you are truthfully and authentically here, that's what is going to end. Okay, so there go your answer. Step out of that limited mindset of things. I'm telling you, it's going to frazzle you out. It's going to burn you out. Oh, well, they keep doing things towards me. Clearly, they're going to keep doing it, because if you're not changing the narrative, or if you're not changing the point of view in regards to how you see the same situation, well, then they're going to feel that they have continuous control over you, and they don't, especially not over here. How you going to give control to someone who don't have control over themselves? Yet again, they invested their time into manipulation, into gaslighting others, into creating a subpar appearance as to how they want other people to see them, tearing other people down. That's what they created with their investment here. If that makes sense. Yes, don't engage, disconnect, and then heal self. So when they doing their thing and they flopping like a fish out of water, you be like, look, y'all, it's a fish out of water. You like, oh, okay, you just watching them. Because that's where they are right now. They can't breathe right now. That makes sense. They were submerged in water because that's where they felt the strongest, or where they felt the most protected here, okay? They wanted to pull you out in water because they thought that you could not swim. This is figuratively speaking here, or metaphorically. But they wanted to put you in the deepest parts of the depth of your emotions because they thought that you were going to drown in it. And if you are in control of your emotions, you ain't going to drown in it. Does that make sense? So they don't know what they're doing. So let's keep moving forward. I'm actually glad you asked that question, though. But let's keep moving forward. That's why it goes back to the boat. They're trying to put you in the depths of your emotions. That's water. That's watery energy. That makes sense. Tears are watery energy. And if you're completely submerged in darkness and depression, and oh my God, I can't get out of this, and why they keep doing this to me, and what did I do, and da 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 da. And those are all valid questions. Believe me, they are. Every question that you have in regards to what they have done towards you is very valid. Okay. But the real question to the question, or the real answer to the questions that you have here, is that when are you going to stand up and do what you need to do for yourself? So that way you're not submerging your emotions here. And when the tables turn here, now they're in the middle here, and everyone's pointing the fingers at them, not you. Because the finger pointing wasn't actually meant for you in the first place. It was meant for them. But they wanted to swap identities or swap position here, so you can feel like them. This is why they're doing what they're doing towards you, or attempting to do what they can towards you here, is because they want you to feel like them. So if that's not working and you're not going to give into their games here, that's going to make them submerge in their emotions. It's not working. Why is it not working? Oh, the collective is ignoring me. Yeah, if you ignore a person and they can't handle you ignoring them, yeah, that's gonna make them flip out. Right. That's where you want them to be. So yet again, they invested a lot into destroying their life, not yours. Someone's name is Samantha. Sequoia. Salamander. I'm also hearing the name Zelensky. Maybe it's from what's the name of that movie? Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, or Honey, I Blew Up the Kids, but his name was Zelensky. How can let me see if I can connect that with here. Zelensky was a scientist. We'll call him a mad scientist. He believed in his work. He really did. And he wanted to show others that he was the right person for the job when it comes to altering or shifting things, or more so reality. Okay, I could put it in that way. Surrounding the movie Honey, I Blew Up the Kid, when they had the toddler, and he made some kind of zappy thingy, apparatus thingy or whatever. He ended up getting fired from that job because people thought that his ideas was just way too quirky, and they didn't understand or comprehend what he was trying to do here. He had his older son as well, so I think his name was Adam, and I forget the little baby's name. But the little baby got into some things. He ended up getting zapped by that zappy thingy, whatever it was called. I forget the name of it. And over time, when they kept passing the electrical lines in the streets or on the road or the highway here, the little baby actually started to grow momentum and it got bigger. So it's basically things got blown out of proportion, more so from that type of way, or it was too much for them to handle because of how big it got. So things got a little bit more bigger than it needed to be, until when the mother had to step in, because Zelensky's boss was just a complete a-hole. He was doing everything possible to hurt the toddler, but the mother actually got bigger as well too. It was like, you're not gonna mess with my baby, my child. Remember that part? And took the helicopter, was like, back away, and he kind of went flying away in that kind of way. So yeah, it was like, we can even look at it in that way, is that Zelensky's boss thought that he had control or terrain or reign over what Zelensky was trying to create. It's like he wanted to kind of take credit for it, but he had to destroy Zelensky in a way to ensure that he were able to take credit for it, and it didn't work out in that way here. I mean, they had helicopters, they had army, they had all those bigger armed forces that was trying to hurt or harm a toddler, and the toddler was just trying to play, if that makes sense. He saw the ice cream truck because he loved ice cream, and they had an ice cream truck, and he was running after, like they tried everything possible to prove like something was wrong with Zelensky. And I don't think anything was wrong with him. I just think he just had a very different point of view or perspective when it came to life surrounding his scientific, experiments and discoveries here. And a lot of people weren't able to accept it as such, so they frowned upon it. And they try to destroy his ideologies. They tried to destroy his craft, his inventory. He even had solar beams on his van. Like, who do you know is creating solar beams on their van? And he was I think he was very intelligent. I think he was just wise beyond his years, and many people weren't able to accept that or receive that, which is why they tried to destroy him in many different ways here. But what we have here is the Truman Show. So there's a lot of boats here, but it's more still. So like the water is still, or the water is calm here, but you're able, or you were successful to climb up this ladder and to get out, or the exit here. And going back to the Truman Show, at the end here, once Jim Carrey realized that other people were watching him here, what did he do? He saw an opening, or he saw a space where there was an actual door just like this here, where he was actually able to get out of this plot or this narrative here, and people were no longer able to watch them. So I'll put you in that position there. People will no longer be able to watch you here because they have other things that they have to tend to in regards to themselves. I'm hearing the name Sully, S-U-L-L-Y. Someone's name is Kelly or Khalees or Sully's. Some people, someone, sorry, I didn't mean to say it like that. Someone loves jalapeno peppers. You may love it on pizza. Someone may have Crohn's disease or alopecia. Someone has some form of like a sepsis in the blood right now. Honestly, they're trying to fix that, or they're trying to receive help or assistance. Now, if they're on the wrong side of this, it's going to be hard for them to fix this. Y'all got to remember how energy works. Energy is going to use the closest thing to ensure that you're able to receive that message. Okay, so I'll use this as an example. Let's say that you've been praying for betterment or praying for greater times to happen in your life. Let's say you have to go to the doctors, right? But you don't have health insurance or whatever the case may be. So that might be the reason why you may stay away from the doctors. It's just an example, right? But you keep praying for something great or better to happen for you. So you finally decide to go to the doctor. So when you get there, maybe you've seen a doctor that has his own practice, and maybe they were able to, you know, you don't have to pay for the bill or something like that. You know what I mean? But that your prayer was granted, and because it was granted, is now showing you in real life time that this doctor heard your prayers, and I was like, you know what, don't even worry about the bill. This one's on me. You know what I mean? That kind of way. So energy is going to be utilized in the best way for you to see or receive the message. So whoever has this sepsis, but this is more so on the wrong side of things here, they're looking for like a doctor, they're looking for help or some kind of something, assistance here to help them get better here. But because of the karma, the energy, the negative energy that they placed out here, they may feel that the doctor's not listening to what they're saying. They may feel disrespected by the nurses. They may feel that if they were getting their blood drawn, you know, you know what I mean? Like the energy is going to work in many different ways to show that person or a person, you know what I mean? If that makes sense. So yes, another example would be the doctor will double charge or overcharge them for something, you know? So it's like a catalyst of karma that's falling. Is like a collapse of dark energy that is happening for them here. Yes, come on, spirit. You see the abyss? They're spiraling out of control here. They're spiraling into darkness here. If that makes sense. Hey, I'm just a messenger. I'm just a messenger here. Oh, Lord, child, because they did a lot of things to try to manipulate or alter or shift the collective's health, if that makes sense. And it's falling back onto them. Like they were preying on the collective to be sick, to be ill, harmful things happening towards the collective. Some of you guys may have experienced that, to be honest here, respectfully. But once you were able to get out of that, you were able to heal yourself, it went back to them. For the ones that did not, you did not experience any type of health ailments, but you were protected from the health ailments, is now going back to them. And they can't handle that because they thought that their projections onto you were worthy of you becoming sick. And no, it's not. You didn't do anything to this person. So why should you be susceptible to someone else's ailments or illnesses when you didn't cause any harm towards them? If that makes sense. Yes, you saw the light of day, or you saw the bigger picture of the light coming through. You were in darkness. Yes, you were. Thank you. You were in darkness. You were submerged completely in darkness here, but it wasn't until the light shone you a different way, or you had an aha moment, or you have a light bulb moment, or you were illuminated to seeing things for what it truly was. And now you were able to walk up those steps, or you were able to see the ending of the tunnel or the light of the tunnel. That makes sense. So when you saw things for what it is, the bigger picture, because the bigger picture means you're able to see it from everything, like everything is bright for you to see. Now you were able to stop their clock and restart yours. That's why some of you guys may look much younger than how you look. You may feel great as well too, because you're getting another opportunity at life to do life again, but in a very positive and healthy, nurturing, beautiful way for whoever resonates with that here. And your time is regressing back. So I'll even put it in this way. They try to stop your time, but they wanted to utilize your time against you by getting you to give up all of your time to give to them. So the more that you gave to them, the more they siphoned from you, the more they took away from you, time-wise, energetic-wise, okay? So while they're taking and siphoning from you, things are being stopped for them in a way to where they can live the life that they thought that they could. But it flipped, if that makes sense, because you realize that all you have is time, or you realize how precious time is. You stop their time, you regain control of your time, of self, if that makes sense. You put more time and effort and energy into self, surrounding the time of self, and you were able to regain that for self and left them where they needed to be, if that makes sense. So they don't have any time whatsoever, literally and figuratively, spiritually too. You stop the time when you disconnected from them. Okay, when you meditate, you disconnect from time. That's a real thing when you're in meditation. Sometimes you could be in meditation for 30 minutes in an hour and you don't even realize you're in meditation for 30 minutes in an hour. It may feel like 2 seconds or 2 minutes while you're in meditation when you get out of meditation. So that kind of put it in that type of way. Thank you for the gifts. I'm hearing Arundel, Arundel. I believe that's in Maryland, I believe. I could be pronouncing it wrong. Arundel or something like that. I know it's a city in Maryland. Someone's name is Chelsea, or you may live near the Chesapeake Bay, Chesapeake River. Someone's name is Dawson. Or maybe you love Dawson's Creek. I don't want to wait for our lives to be over. Remember that? Thank you. And that was a good show. Okay. Someone loves Dragon Ball Z, or you could be into airbending. Okay. All right, I ain't gonna go too deep with that. Okay. Or you could be becoming one with nature. You wanting to venture out in nature. All right. Oh, awesome. It's also Norway. Okay. Awesome. Yes. Thank you. Arundel Mills. Okay. That's it. Maryland. And I was also told it's also in Norway as well too. So that's good to know. So we have the spider here. You are the spider in the web, not the other way around. How is it that you are creating a web, right? A web of protection, a web of truth, whatever. However, you're creating a web for yourself, and somebody trying to come in, they're trying to kick you out your web, and they're trying to utilize your web as theirs. That would never happen. One spider, you are the spider in your own web, and another spider is trying to come into your web here, which I don't really think can happen. I don't think I've ever seen 2 spiders in one web. I'm being so for real here. I don't think I've ever seen that. But anyways, they're trying to utilize what you've created, because we all know when spiders create webs, it's very intricate, it's very beautiful, and it's very delicate in nature. When you look close, you're like, oh, wow, no 2 spider webs are the same. They're not. They're not. And they thought that they can utilize your web as theirs and kick you out of yours. No, if anything, if they were to come into your web, they're going to get entangled. Yes, like a snowflake. Yes. No 2 snowflakes are alike. It's not. And if you have like a really high-powered camera and you're able to kind of like zoom in, or you have like a microscope or something like that, and you put a couple of snowflakes, set it apart, you're going to realize that every snowflake has its own individualistic, unique aspect. So if snowflakes has its own unique points of views. Even spiders' webs have their own unique points of views. I mean, how about you? Everything was uniquely created in a way to separate themselves or itself from the community, the masses, whatever, however here. That's you. You were uniquely created to be unique. And they realized that you were very unique. And they wanted to destroy and tamper your uniqueness because they couldn't be unique like you. Well, how can they be unique like you if they feel they confuse power with control? Instead of them investing in their healing or growth, they invested in manipulation, domination, lies, and appearances, if that makes sense. They really don't know how life works, clearly, because look at the foolishness that they do. I'm just saying. Oh man, child. What else, spirit? What's that? Yeah, so they lurk in the shadows, and they can do whatever they want, just like how you can do what you want. Okay, they can lurk in the shadows. They're trying to read up and trying to see how they can get out of the darkness. They're trying to get out of darkness, the same darkness that they're afraid of themselves. They're trying to read into their energy, and they're trying to figure out who they are, and they can't. They get frustrated every time, or they get scared of themselves. That's why some people say, oh, my dark side is so dark, and I'm scared of my dark side. You shouldn't be afraid of your dark side. We all have light side and a dark side to us. That's the balance. That's the yin and the yang. Why are you afraid of your dark side? For what reason? Thank you. Why are you afraid of the dark side? When things are created in darkness. You were created in darkness. You were submerged in the tummy for 9-10 months. So if you were created in darkness, why are you afraid of darkness? They don't understand that concept. And that's not for you to teach or for them to understand. If they don't get it, that's on them. Which is why they think or thought that the way they perceive darkness is a negative part or negative aspect of things. And I mentioned to you guys before, there's a positive aspect of darkness. There's a negative aspect of darkness. And they love to thrive in the negative aspect of darkness here, which is why they're in a heap of a shit, heap of a mess. The group chat has ended. The group chat has ended. The devil is here. Could be a Capricorn. Okay. Could be a Capricorn that ended the group chat or left the group chat or got kicked out of a group chat. Yeah, judgment. You could have been experiencing some racism as well. Could be colorism as well. Take it how it resonates. They're being judged for that really harshly. So you're going to have to take that how that resonates surrounding racism or colorism. But they're being judged for that. Or it could be text messages or proof of them showing racism or colorism. Like they devoted their life to destroy yours, which is crazy because they ended up destroying theirs, which is even more crazier. What else, Spirit? I'm hearing the name Mammon, M-A-M-M-O-N. It's an energy. So maybe you connect with that energy. We do have prayer here. They're praying for things to get better with the star, but the star is in reverse. Oh, so they're wishing upon a star and it's not being granted or it's not being received. They're wishing upon a star and it can't. You can listen to Rolls Royce. I'm hearing car wash, car wash. Working at the car wash. You remember that song? I believe that song's from the 70s or 80s. Maybe you're watching the movie The Car Wash with Snoop Dogg. Maybe Snoop Dogg is your favorite artist. But they keep praying upon a star. It could be an Aquarius, low vibrational Aquarius here, and they're not getting their requests answered or heard. You may love the group El DeBarge. Yeah, fractured. Yep, fractured. They fracture many parts or aspects of self here. Brother is doing this. You have a brother that don't like you or may despise you. Thank you. And they may have fractured themselves. A brother may have a fractured bone. Or your brother may have done this to you when you were younger. You may have had a hairline fracture when you were younger, and a brother figure may have done this to you. And it may have hid that from the world or from other people. However it resonates. Thank you. They didn't want people to know. So whoever this resonates for, a brother may be your top enemy or arch nemesis here with anxiety. Thank you, Bright Star. And they always sided with this brother figure here, which may have put a lot of anxiety on you here. Yeah, they use this brother as a pawn. Yeah, they use this brother as a pawn to come up against you here. And every time you may have said something about this brother, no one listened to you. No one heard what you had to say. And if you were to speak up in regards to what this brother figure were doing here, yeah, they may have caused some form of harm towards you. It was like diverse abuse, or they tried to diversify the abuse among you: psychological, financial, emotional, spiritual, physical, etc., etc. They wanted to diversify the abuse. So it's like all hands on deck. You may have looked up to this brother, whether they are older or younger than you. However it resonates. Maybe this is your only brother. Again, take it how it resonates. Okay, it's not going to resonate for everybody. Yeah, compass. You may have looked up to this person, or you may have followed this person, or maybe this brother figure may have followed you, but there was definitely some envy there for sure. It was definitely a lot of envy. Yep. Brother figure may have derailed your plans. Thank you. The mother figure may have derailed. I didn't mean to say mother. I'm sorry. It could be a mother figure. I meant brother. Brother figure may have tried to derail your plans surrounding your future here. Anything they could do to make you look like something that you're not. And you may have came off as very irresistible when you were younger, and even now in your time now. But this brother figure didn't like it yet because they were a trickster. And what they did, because they tricked themselves out their spots here. There's actually a paper trail. So there's a big case surrounding this. Could be a physical case or just more of a spiritual case. But people are seeing this brother figure to be the trickster spirit here. Speak up. So you're going to have to take this how this resonates, okay? There are many ways to be truthful, as I keep saying. One way is to speak up, of course. Another way is actually stepping up in your inauthenticity. Thank you. Okay. There are many ways to do one thing. Okay. So somebody mentioned on YouTube that they feel every time they try to speak up, they can't speak up or something to that nature here. Shift that narrative, boo. Get out that limited mindset of the way of thinking. I understand. I had to develop a certain a different point of view when it came to me speaking my truth. So that way I could speak my truth. And there's so many ways that you can do that, okay? Remember, you're dealing with narcissistic individuals that only have one way of thinking. And this is why they gravitate towards a group of people, because if they have 10 people that are silly or not intelligent in nature here, they're trying to pick their brain to see what they can do collectively, or more so karmically, to come up against you here. So it's 10 dumb people, 10 dodo birds against one smart individual, which is you. That makes sense? So they're not going to win if you're able to think outside the box, or more so to stay ahead of the curve. Yes, come on, spirit. Social conditioning. They were socially conditioned to band together, because that's what they think. If they come together, they'll be stronger in numbers. And that's not always the case. Some people work really well by themselves. You see it all the time when it comes to singing groups. They start off as groups, and then when things don't work out in a way that they anticipate, then you might start to see the solo individuals. And y'all know I love me some Michael Jackson, so I'm going to use Uncle Mike for an example. Michael Jackson was really well known with his brothers. Yes, he was. He was very well known with his brothers, but it came a time where he wanted to venture off and become a solo artist. And when he became a solo artist, what happened? He became a megastar. If that makes sense. He had to separate himself, not saying, his brothers were, bad or anything, but in order for him, from his point of view, in order for him to get to the goal that he wanted to achieve, he knew he had to separate himself. And this is how he was able to kind of separate himself from the rest. And he made that very clear. He made that very, very clear in his solo artistry. Yes, he did. The same with Beyonce and Destiny's Child. Not saying the others aren't doing well. They're doing well. But, from the perception of others, Beyonce is a megastar. That makes sense? So just a couple examples. So you had to separate or disconnect from the social conditioning so people can see the star in you. If that makes sense, you have a star within you. The energy of you, the light of you, it's within you. But in order for you to see that and other people to see that, you have to separate sometimes from the group thinking, the group herd thinking, the social conditioning of things, if that makes sense. And that's what you did, or that's what you're going to do. And it's going to separate you from the rest. And you no longer will be naive, or you don't come off as naive. That's what they want you to be. They want you to be socially conditioned to be naive. They want you to be socially conditioned to be naive. That's what they want. And you don't have to give them what they want. Thank you. You don't. To hell with them. Yes, that's why the door is closed. Yes. Okay. Why you coming at, wait, who you coming at? Don't come at my girls. You coming at Cara? No, Cara is cool. Can y'all leave Cara alone, please? Cara is cool. Don't be coming on her like that. Right is right, wrong is wrong, boo. I'm going to call you out. Not too much on Cara, Kara. She's cool. Look, wrong person. Yeah, not Cara. She's good. Okay, on YouTube. Leave Cara alone. She's good. So we got humiliation here. So now they feel humiliated and numb because you're seeing it from a different perspective, if that makes sense. And they were unprepared because they were unprepared for you to see it from a different perspective. Okay? Yes, and they weren't prepared for the draining of their energy. They weren't. They thought no one would see it. That's why they like fast things, fast money, fast sex, fast entertainment, fast thrills, anything fast, microwavable results. That's what they wanted. And that's what they received. And they brought shame to themselves. They did. Yep. And they became reckless. The moment that they started to feel the shame within themselves, the moment they became reckless. Going back to the title, they invested a lot into destroying their life. Blind spots. Okay? Yes. Fast and superficial. Spot on. Yes, yes, yes. Y'all getting it. That's all that matters. Y'all getting it. Y'all getting it. Yes, red flags. So the more reckless they became, the more red flags you saw of them. And they lost faith. Yes. They lost faith because of the lack of commitment that they had. They wanted you to commit to them so they could be committed to themselves. Huh? They wanted you, collective, to be committed to them so they can be committed to themselves. No, sir. No, ma'am. Let me repeat that one more time. They needed you to be committed to them so they can be committed to themselves. Let me explain that. The lack of commitment that they had every day, that they showed up as every day, they needed to connect to someone that were committed to self, meaning you. You took care of self. Your bills were paid. You were on top. You were doing what you were supposed to do. They didn't like that. So they tried to attach to you guys or connect to you here. So that way, yeah, I know. You see how it doesn't make sense, but it makes sense in the way. It don't make sense, but it makes sense, if that makes sense. This is what people do. This is how people try to hide their evil intentions or their negative intentions in regards to, you know what I mean? In regards to what they're trying to do to others here, okay? Cara is not fraudulent, Cornelius. Come on, boo. I promise you she's not. I've actually spoke to her one-on-one. I know her energy. That's why I said she's cool. I promise you. So maybe there has just been a miscommunication, and that's okay. But I'm telling you, I've actually spoke to Car personally one-on-one. I've read for Car one-on-one personally. That's why I said not too much on her. I promise you. I'm not digging at you, Cornelius. I'm not doing any of that. I'm just telling you she's good. That's all I'm saying, okay? So maybe there was just a miscommunication, and that happens from time to time, but Cara is actually good, okay? That's all I'm saying. Y'all know I'm good. I'm fair. I'm a very fair person. I'm very, very fair, and I want to make sure that everyone feels comfortable on my channels. Yeah, I don't play that. That's all, okay? I'm a very fair person. So let's keep moving forward. Yeah, we have fear. Okay? They feared that you are aware that they lost faith. They lost faith in themselves, and they wanted you to put your faith in them, which is the reason why they lost faith in the first place. So since they can't find the faith within self, they're going to look for a person that has faith in them, which was you. And once they realize that you had a lot of faith or optimism in regards to you here, they're like, oh, well, I could just attach to this person here. Okay, no, you're good. You're good. It's okay. It's all love. I promise. It's all love. You're good, Cornelius. It's all love. Okay. But anywho, so with that being said here, in regards to the faith here, because they lost their faith or they lost their way, they wanted to attach to you or hitch a ride to you here. So that way your faith can benefit them. And it didn't work out in that way. Yes. Well, of course. So Kelly states on TikTok, it doesn't work like that, though. Absolutely, it doesn't. But that's how they perceive it. And this is why I always say it's very important or imperative to ensure that you're breaking things down so that way you can see the bigger scope or the bigger picture of things. Because the way they do things is is backwards. Their way of thinking is very backwards. Their perception of things is very backwards, you know? And that's why they tend to go into the victim mentality. Well, I didn't know, and that's not true, and it is true because they were doing it. They're only saying it's not true because they got caught. So they're trying to sing another tune as if, oh, well, let me just play victim. Oh, yeah, well, let me just put sob story. Yeah, yeah. No, it doesn't. No. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Mm-hmm. Three of Swords. Oh, okay. Who's the other Kara? Let me know their name. I spoke to Kara M personally, but who's the other Kara? And let me know, and I'll replay it and make a decision. But we have Five of Swords here, and then Three of Cups. So Five of Swords is in reverse, or sorry, Five of Swords is upright, and Three of Cups is in reverse here. So you defeated their betrayal. Okay? Yeah. You defeated their betrayal by stepping aside and just letting them fall. Stand clear of the closing doors, please. Thank you. Y'all coming with the gifts today. Thank you, baby. Okay. I'm going to have to... Okay, I see. Okay. Let me focus on a read, and then when I get some downtime, I'm going to review the video and then just kind of go from there, okay? Because I want to focus on making sure y'all getting the message. So there's too many distractions right now. So we have the Five of Cups here. Yeah, they are in regret. They're in regret because you saw the betrayal for what it was, a betrayal. They feel defeated by the betrayal, and now they're in regret because you see the betrayal for what it is. Okay. Yeah, the Chariot. You was like, man, bump this. I'm getting out of here. And you did with the Wheel of Fortune. Wheel of Fortune. Remember that? Could be a Capricorn, strong Capricorn here. Take how it resonates. Okay. Thank you. We have Leo. Okay. You could be a Leo. They could be a Leo. We have Taurus here. We have Aquarius. Somebody was watching Three's Company because I'm hearing, come on, knock on my door. We've been waiting for you. Where the kisses are hers and his and hers. Three's Company too. And maybe they thought that they can be the third wheel in your life. So you are connected to Source, Spirit, Divine, Jesus, Universe, Ancestors, however you do your thing. That's the duo. You work with that energy, or you connect with that energy, or you co-create with that energy, right? And this interloper, which will be considered the third party here, or the Three's Company, is this karmic person who we're trying to intercede or intercept into the creation, or more so the co-creation that you have created or connected with Source, Spirit, Divine, etc., etc. If that makes sense. So Sagittarius, you could be, they could be. We have Capricorn, strong Capricorn, okay? We have Scorpio, okay? You could be, they could be. Dang, strong Capricorn. Sagittarius, let me do one more. And Libra, okay? So if that resonates, please like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Again, go out there and be freaking great. You owe that to yourself. You are here to be successful. You are here to thrive. You are worthy of your time, your energy, and the effort that you place into self. Okay, so that's going to be spun in many different ways for you. But you are worthy of your success. You are. And the only one that can determine your success is you. Okay. So again, if you're ready to purchase your book, it's going to be a copy of your book here. This book is readily available on Amazon. It's called Wisdom Beyond Wounds here. Again, thank you so much for your immense support. Thank you for the gifts as well. It's truly appreciated. I love you guys. Go out there, be freaking great. You deserve it to yourself. I'll see you later, TikTok. Thank you. And also, thank you so much for being here, Instagram and Facebook as well. You're truly appreciated. I'll see you on the next one. All right, I got a little time. So what was going on here? What y'all got going on? Let me know what's what. I got like 5 minutes I can spare. So what was the issue over here surrounding Cara? Cara M? If it's Cara M, she's good. So yeah, I speak to Cara so all the time. So she's good. Oh, okay, cool. Okay. All right. So everything is good. Everything copacetic. All right. Good, good, good. All right. Love you guys. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you for my moderators as well. I know y'all don't play about me. I understand. Thank you. I appreciate it. Cornelius a pit bull. He don't play. He don't play. But I see Cornelius. I know it's all love. I promise you. I know it's all love. So I appreciate that. But yes, y'all go out there, be freaking great. Love you guys. And yeah, I'll see you on the next one. Take care.